Hey folks, thanks for coming over to Capitalism for Good. This is a part of a larger project where I am on a mission to interview 100 business leaders about the positive impact that they have on their internal and external communities. It is through these interviews that we will dig into how we can use the ways in which we make and spend our dollars in order to benefit the greater good. Folks, today we have Cathy Nesbitt. She's another female founder, female entrepreneur, business owner, and I will be honest, I kind of struggled to nail down what a good title for her is. Maybe it is entrepreneur, maybe it is a laugh champion. I don't know. I first was interested in talking to her because she owned a compost company where she was focused on selling worms, doing education specifically with schools, but also public education in general about just honoring the earth and taking care of our environment, using things like worms as a vehicle for that. Maybe don't be so afraid of them. They provide a lot of value in our lives, and how that can kind of build up these lifelong skills and philosophies when it comes to taking care of the folks around you. That has since evolved. You'll hear at the end of this interview, we really talk about the things that she is spending most of her time on now, which is something that she calls the Chuckle Club or the Laugh Club. I will put a link to this in the show notes, as well as her composting website. She has done so many things, given many talks, talked about all of these things, but this Laugh Club, the laughter wellness, is such an interesting thing. I can't even help but smile talking about it. I purposefully tried to keep myself at an arm's distance when I was doing this interview with her, as I do for a number of the folks that I speak with, particularly because I have a little bit of an overbearing personality, if you can't tell, and I want to be sure that I am not trying to control the conversation too much to steer us in any one way or the other. I want there to be some natural curiosity that kind of comes through, and that I'm learning right along with you, although you do a fair amount of research and kind of checking in the background before I choose the folks that we speak to and we shine a spotlight on here. But I digress. So I did not attend her Chuckle Club, her laughter wellness session, until after I spoke with her. I did it this morning, and if you're watching this on video, you'll see that I can't help but still smile, and this was hours later. It is cheesy. It is the embodiment of fake it till you make it. It is just, everything and nothing that you think it will be like. And it is cool that she has this. It's virtual, so it's in a Zoom. There are people from all over that are a part of it, all different types of folks. Even you can hear it in her laughter that there's a purposefulness in what she's doing, but it is meaningful. I'll tell you, I'll just set the scene that when I showed up this morning to the laughter wellness session, I woke up early like I do most mornings, started working right away. I try not to do that, but today was the day that I needed to just get a couple things done before I even had any caffeine or did anything else. Just needed to knock out a couple things. Did a workout, take a shower, came in and showed up to this online virtual laughter wellness session, full hair dripping wet, just no makeup on, getting there in the nick of time to start, just a little how we get sometimes, just a little chaotic, a little all over the place, and a little bit also distracted. do I need to check an email? Do you know there are a million things that I'm forgetting to do right now. You know, the way that we get a little caught up in our lives and stuff like that. And I'll be darned if I didn't end up like truly it first being like, I don't know if I'm into this for a full hour. It wasn't a full hour, but like, I don't know. And fully like just convinced myself to just embrace it and do it and follow along, and truly took the turn from just okay, let's just do it, let's participate, to like, no, this sunk in. It sunk in. I'm a convert. I'm going to sing praises of laughter wellness. If you want something that feels a little cheesy, that feels a little, I think she described it as like weird the first time that she did it. Like, yeah, sure is, but who cares? It worked. I am still smiling thinking about it and highly recommend it. If you are available at 9:30 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, Eastern time, I highly recommend that you just log on and check it out. I'll put a link to it in the show notes and into all of the things. And I highly recommend it. It was refreshing. It was fun. It made me smile. And so did this interview with Cathy. She kind of takes us all over the place. We go a million different directions, and I think there's so much to learn from her, from all of the different ventures and all of the different things that she has done throughout her career and about her life. And I think that anyone would be hard pressed not to find something to take away from this interview and to take away from Cathy. So enjoy. I'd love to start with kind of your journey, your career, like kind of starting from the beginning to get to where you are with both Cathy's Crawly Composters and the Laughter Wellness as well.
Love it. Okay. Wonderful. Well, I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto. And in 2002, our landfill closed. And Canada is a pretty large country, second largest in the world. And we couldn't find a place to site a new landfill. And we started to export our garbage to the US. Um, Yeah, and it broke my heart. It just was like, oh, how irresponsible of us to ship our garbage out of the country. Like, be responsible, everybody. And I had a solution, at least for part of the garbage, the wet waste, the smelly stuff, the food waste from the kitchen, the yard waste, that kind of stuff. And I set forth, I'm what do I say, an accidental entrepreneur. I happened upon this. I thought I was going to be a secretary for life. I grew up in the 60s and I don't know if there was actually a memo that came around, but it seemed like there was five options for women, for
Mm.
girls, right? You could be a teacher, secretary, nurse, stewardess, or waitress. Did I say waitress?
You
Anyway,
like,
five things. So I was like, okay, of that limited list. And in a certain way, Andrea, it's a gift because it's like, okay, I have five things to choose from. Now it's like, oh, Pandora's box. You could do anything. Oh my God, how do I decide? I don't know what I want to do.
yeah,
Right? So it's like in the States, there's so many chocolate bars. In Canada, we're limited. So we've got like, okay, you have your favorite, you go, you buy it.
yeah,
I come to the States, I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know. I don't know what to get because there's so many options.
yeah.
Same with work. Anyway, so I chose secretarial and I was a great secretary. Oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, I was a good secretary because again, I grew up at a time I hope it's not still like this, but girls are told be nice, don't rock the boat, right? Don't
Yeah,
upset the apple cart, support the man.
yeah. It's probably getting
Uh,
better, but I feel that there's still like an undertone that I feel like we're kind of fighting against, at least my generation. I'm 35 now, and I feel like there's still a little bit of that that's like, okay, know your place a little bit.
Know your place, right? I think the world, well, not the world, but at least this part of the world is run by old white men. Um,
Yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, there we go with it. We won't get into all of that, but so that was my lot. And I anyway saw this opportunity to help the world with
Mm.
a worm business. And so several things happened. I stopped being a secretary. I was getting my psych degree. I graduated in 2000, got a job at a group home working with challenged adults. And I loved that. I was like, oh my gosh, this is what I was meant to do. And
Yeah.
then I couldn't work with management.
Huh?
So I was like, okay, not that.
Hmm. Hmm.
Which is a kind of another whole story. Like, I'm pretty sure the people in management started on the front line. And then
Yeah.
by the time they work their way up, they forgot how it is down there.
Yeah. Uh-huh. There's something when you like cross a certain threshold sometimes where it's like, oh, I've just walked through a magical door and I forgot what it was like to be the person like doing the work every day, like being client facing or whatever, like you said, being on the front line.
Yeah, anyway, I couldn't work there, and then I got a job working with a at a school, working with one client. Oh my gosh, I was a freelance behavior management specialist. Sounds so impressive. Oh my gosh, it sounds impressive. It doesn't fit on a business card. And freelance means no safety net. When I got injured, and I did,
Mm,
there was nothing, right? It's like work or don't get paid.
hmm.
And I came home from work that day and there was an ad in the paper. It said, "Are you a woman?" Yes. "Do you have a business idea?" Yes.
Hmm.
Boom. It was a course, a 6 month course to take to write a business plan.
Okay.
I turned to my husband. I said, "I'm quitting my job. I'm taking this course. I'm going to start a worm business. How fun." And wow, so many things happened.
Yeah.
And I think that the universe does provide like little breadcrumbs
Yeah. Yeah.
if we follow them. Right? You can't connect the dots going forward. There's no dots. But we
Yeah.
can look back and go, oh, bing, bing, bing. Oh, that's why I met that person. That's why that and that. And that's what happened. And yeah, so I took that course, started my business, and that was 2002, the year the landfill closed.
Yeah.
So big need. And that same summer, we had a garbage strike.
Mm.
No point in having a garbage strike in the winter. There's no power there.
Yeah.
Right? Toronto is supposedly a world-class city, not world-class if we got mountains of steaming, smelly trash.
Hmm.
No one's coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I went on a road trip with my worms, got media about that, and then I chose media as my marketing strategy. I'm like, oh, it's so good having somebody write about you.
Yeah.
And I learned all about how do I get media now. So now I'm a media magnet. I just attract media attention.
Yeah. Which is great. Yeah.
It's a beautiful way to promote, right? Yeah. So that was the beginning of my worm business.
Hmm. And were
Uh,
you always were how did the worms start like in your home, in your personal life? Where did that epicenter begin?
Yeah, so going back, I was born in Toronto and
Yeah.
I'm a small town girl, so I moved to a smaller town, bought a house.
Yeah.
And frankly, I couldn't afford in the city anyway.
Hmm.
Even 30 years ago, it was out of my range.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'm so happy in my little town. And I couldn't wait to start gardening and composting in that year. So it was 93. In 93, a teacher friend asked me to look after her worm bin.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that was my first introduction to the worms. I didn't want
Mhm.
worms in my house. And I come from a place where we should try things for ourselves,
Yeah.
right? Rather than someone, oh, you won't like that. Oh, good, give me a list.
Hmm.
Like give me a list of the things I won't like and I'll just save my time.
Hmm.
Right? Just try things, folks.
Yeah.
So I took on the challenge, had worms in my house for the summer. It was awful. I was a fruit fly farmer, and it's
Yeah.
not a necessary component, but it was gross. And I was
Uh-huh.
like, okay, I'm never doing this again. I kept the worms alive for my friend. That was good. And I
Yeah.
wanted the black gold. That was
Mhm.
my reason for doing it is I wanted to I'm an avid gardener. I knew the value of the compost and the worm compost.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to do the process.
Yeah. And for anyone who's not a gardener, we talk about black gold.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so composting is nature's way to look after our food scraps, our yard waste, naturally, right? You just
Yeah.
like there's a whole process and there's lots of videos on how to do that. But
Yeah.
you add in your browns, greens, water, you turn it. And after a certain amount of time, it turns into compost, or I call black gold.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same idea, except it's done inside with worms.
Mm-hmm.
Can it be done outside? Yes. Weather dependent, right? In hot places, no, too hot. In cold places, too cold. So we need the Goldilocks principle, right? We need room temperature. Like if we're comfortable, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and again, so people are like, oh, are they free range? Are they just roaming around your house? Nope.
Huh?
They're in a container, like a Rubbermaid toad or some kind of container.
Yeah.
You need a carbon nitrogen mix. So the carbon is your papers, brown leaves, grass, straw, cardboard, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the nitrogen is your food scraps. And it's both. You need a certain kind of worm. There are about 4 different species that are usable. We're looking for surface dwellers. And they eat that material, and then their poop is really the black gold. It's the premium poop. The
Mm-hmm.
good, the good.
The stuff that our plants love.
Oh my
These guys
gosh. They
back
have,
here love it.
right? Yes.
Uh-huh.
The worms are, they have this symbiotic relationship with plants. So they don't eat living material. If you've got worms in your soil, that's great.
Yeah.
It's an indication of your healthy soil.
Yeah.
And they don't eat living things. So don't worry about them. Oh, all those worms are going to eat my roots. No, they're only eating the decaying matter. So beautiful. They're the
Mhm.
cleanup crew. And they're leaving their poop behind. They're leaving their the plant food right at the base of the plants.
Yeah.
And then that goes up the roots, and then we have more nutritious food.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'll let you keep
Capitalism for
going.
good.
I'll let you keep going from so you started your worm business. You learned the power of media. What happens from there?
So I would have a table wherever I could
Yeah.
to promote this thing. Like I realized, oh, people don't know about it. Oh, okay, so I'll tell them.
Yeah.
I would have a table at, there's more farmers markets, but farmers markets or trade shows, home shows, wherever I could have a table, I would have a table. I would go and speak at chambers of commerce. Wherever I could speak, I would go and talk about why you need worms in the house.
Yeah.
And I have a ton of energy. And I didn't realize people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want.
Yeah.
And they didn't want what I had, even though they needed it. Okay,
Mhm.
so problem. And I have a psych degree, so I'm fascinated by people. I'm merrily going about my way. Many times people said, ooh, worms in the house. And I was like, no, you need this, it's important. And I
Yeah.
wasn't paying attention. That's what they say, pay attention to your client. Listen to them. I was like, no, no, I'm not listening.
Huh?
I'm still
Huh?
standing, yay. Um,
Yeah. I've
I
been
guess
there.
it was like, well, not, I guess, I know, it was 2012. One more person said, ew, worms in the house. And I heard it that time. I felt it. I
Mhm.
questioned everything. And I
Mhm.
was about to doff my important worm mission.
Wow.
I was
That
like,
is
I don't know
like,
what to do.
yeah.
Like 10 years, what am I going to do? I don't know. And I'm looking up like, help me. I don't know what you want from me.
Yeah.
And the very next day I was introduced to laughter yoga.
Hmm. Isn't it
There's
funny
no
how those things
mistakes.
happen of like you hit this moment and then you hear something and it just like kind of changes and makes things kind of click like that?
It's magic. It's magic when we're present and we pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
like if you're frustrated with something, there's a message there like, okay, what is it? Like
Mm-hmm.
don't keep doing the same thing because then sickness will come.
Yeah.
And I'll give an example of that with people that live in apartments. This is a perfect solution for them. And
Mm-hmm.
I would hear from people, oh, I lived in a condo for 10 years. I didn't know. So if you didn't know, you're not doing.
Yeah.
And so that was my thing. And then I would get calls from people saying, "Oh, I lived in a house and we've downsized. Now we live in a condo and we have this beautiful composter and yard. And now we can't, I feel guilty." So I
Yeah.
say, good, good. Because if you're feeling guilty, that's your body saying, "Uh-oh, something's happening, something's
Mm-hmm.
wrong." And if we don't look at that why we're feeling guilty. Like if we don't look at that feeling and we just keep on, oh well, it's my only solution. We're not looking. We just put it down the chute, away
Yeah.
it goes, and we get on with our day. Sickness is really coming because we're going against ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Our body's saying, oh, I don't like this. Oh well, I'm doing it anyway. looking for, so I would say, yay, thanks for calling. You found the right place. I'm here to help and offer you a solution for indoor composting. Not for everybody.
Yeah.
And I really want people to know I came up with an expression without awareness, action is impossible. And it had to do with if you don't know about worms in the house, you don't have them. Bad for business.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sometimes I think it's like, well, maybe I should say from my experience, it's also a little trial and error. Like it
Mm.
really sunk into me when you were talking about looking over your friend's worm bin and then you became a fruit fly farmer. Like that I have lived that experience. I also started with a worm bin living in a small apartment, was so excited about it, and then went away for a weekend, came back, and it was just like they had exploded. Like there were just
Mm.
fruit flies everywhere. Like you said, worms stayed in the bin, they didn't leave. That was something very manageable, but I did not expect the fruit fly explosion. Had
Explosion.
no idea what to do. And for anyone who's hitting that problem, what's your advice?
Yes, thank you. Oh, because that is one of the biggest objections. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have fruit flies. So I say, good. Have you ever had fruit flies? Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever have a worm bin? No. I mean, you did, but
Yeah.
if like most people have not. And so I go, good. So you know the fruit flies don't come from the worm bin. You've
Mm-hmm.
had them. You didn't have a worm bin and you had fruit flies. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because the fruit flies come from the fruit. So when we bring the fruit home from the grocery store,
Huh.
it's on the peels already. We wash the apple, we wash the pear. We don't wash the banana. We just peel it. The eggs are still intact on the peel. So
Mhm.
something you can do when you're composting, you can rinse any of those peels before you add it into your bin. That will wash off the fruit fly eggs, and then bury the food in the bedding.
Mm,
So you're actually burying the scraps. So if you have fruit flies in your house, the odd one floating around, it's not going to find its way into your bin.
yeah,
Because they, again, just like the worms and the plants having this symbiotic relationship, so do the fruit flies and the worms.
yeah,
The fruit flies are just decomposers.
yeah,
And for anyone thinking, yeah, I don't want fruit flies, don't worry, they don't cause any disease for plants, for humans or pets,
yeah, yeah.
right? They don't cause any disease, they just bug us.
They're just
So
annoying. Yeah, yeah,
they're
yeah.
just annoying. They're just
Uh,
annoying. We call them bugs. So they're bugging
right,
us, doing
right.
their job. But that I think that's a really important thing to know because people are like, oh, in the summer I get fruit flies because of the peaches or whatever,
Yeah.
and I don't want
Yeah.
that. Okay, so you can wash your fruit.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, I derailed us a couple times. I Can we get back to your laughter business? And I'll say before we started recording, I think that this is probably helpful for people who are interested and are like, what's laughter wellness? How did you get there? What is that
Hmm.
impact? That I started this exact Zoom call before I started recording, talking about my irrational annoyance with the summer and the heat and the humidity. And I was like, I need it. Cathy, I need your laughter wellness. So can you talk to me all about like what that is and kind of how that got started after your aha moment there?
Yeah, so I was at the very place that I wrote my business plan. Again, one of those synchronicities in the world, in the universe. And the speaker did a 5 minute introduction to laughter yoga. And I don't do yoga. I know yoga's a fine thing. It's just not for me.
Yeah.
But I love laughing. So I was like,
Mhm.
laughter yoga, what's that? I hadn't heard of it.
Yeah.
And that same week at a networking event, hundreds of people, the very first woman I met was a laughter yoga teacher, right? So two dings in 1 week. I was like, okay,
Hmm.
what is this? Okay, I'm listening. And she had a club, the woman at the networking event had a club 5 minute walk from my mother-in-law. Again, what? Come on, Toronto's a huge city.
Yeah.
5 minute walk. Wow. And my mother-in-law was so beautiful. She was so supportive. She passed in 2021. But she would say to people, "Oh, whenever Kathy asks me to do something, I say yes, because it's always an adventure."
Uh-huh.
So I said, "Hey, Mary," I called her up. "Hey, Mary, you want to go to a laughter yoga?" And she said, "What's that?" And I said, "I don't know, but I don't want to go alone."
Find out with me, please. Uh-huh.
And so we went, it was weird the first time, and I'll talk about why that is.
Yeah.
And yeah, but we at the end of the club, we left. I'll talk about that after because I want to talk about what laughter yoga is.
Yeah.
We left and it was like, that was weird. Yes, it was. How do you feel? I feel great. So do I. Huh. And it became our date night. Then we would go monthly.
Hmm.
So laughter yoga started in 1995 by a medical doctor. So it's got street cred, beautiful. And his goal is world peace. Oh my gosh, we need this more than ever. Yes, please.
Hmm.
It's not doing yoga and laughing, because that would be funny, but that's not what it is. It's not jokes or comedy, which are cultural, right? Two people going somewhere, not funny for those two. It's just little games to inspire the laughter. So there's clapping, you're clapping palm to palm, activating meridians. So you already get energy just doing this. And then the rhythm is 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And the words are ho, ho, ha, ha, ha. The laughter sounds. When we're making those laugh like ho ho and ha 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 sounds, and when we're
Mhm.
laughing, our diaphragm is attached to all of our organs.
Yeah.
So it's internal jogging for our beautiful body.
Yeah.
So many benefits. Ever heard that laughter's the best medicine?
Yeah.
Right? It's
Uh-huh.
scientifically proven.
Yeah. And powerful. Like it's one of those things that just again, going back to like I get a little irritated this time of year in a way that I just can't escape it. And I was like, all right, what do I like? I need a tool. I need something to help get me out of that funk. And
Mm.
I need that medicine. I need that aid there.
Yeah, so when we're laughing, so when we're feeling angst or depressed, stressed, frustrated, anxious, uncertain, all of those kind of, I'm going to say, low vibrating
Yeah.
energies, that's where we're residing.
Yeah.
We're there. Laughter brings us to the present and it raises our vibration. It just elevates us
Hmm.
on several levels. First of all, we're oxygenating our beautiful body. Our brain requires 25% more oxygen than the rest of our body as an operating principle.
Hmm.
When we're stressed, we're not breathing properly. We're shallow breathing. Blood, lymph, oxygen leaves our frontal lobe so that those things can go into our muscles so we can kind of escape. Not that we need to run away
Yeah.
if it's in our head.
But sometimes that's still the instinct. I mean, that happens to me ever since I was a kid. Like when something happens, I feel this urge to physically run and like get that energy out, find something to do with it.
Right? Yes, because it's all pent up. That's it.
Yeah.
And also we're secreting the stress hormones when we're stressed.
Yeah.
Cortisol, adrenaline, epinephrine, and more. When we're laughing, it's really the opposite of stress. We're secreting the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins. And if anyone is on antidepressant drugs or something, there is those chemicals are in those antidepressants.
Yeah.
So imagine if we can laugh. I'm not suggesting anyone doff their medication
Right.
without consulting their doctor. I'm not a doctor.
Right.
And I'm not making any claims, but you'll feel better.
Yeah,
I
but it
promise.
is lived experience. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It absolutely is. And we all know from childhood if we've had a good belly laugh with our friends or as adults, but it's rarer.
Hmm.
Where our belly's hurting, we're crying, our cheeks are hurting. Oh my gosh, like stop, I can't anymore. It's too much. Those are the laughter muscles. And unlike going to the gym, if you haven't been for a while, you're not sore the next day. It's just that temporary moment. And I actually have rock hard abs from laughing because I laugh every day with intention.
Isn't that a draw? Isn't that a marketing tool there?
Yes, that's what someone said. They were like, oh, you need to lead with that one.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's
Right?
like when
Laughing and
people
having
are,
fun.
what was your phrase earlier? People don't buy what they need, they buy what they want. Same thing. Like, y- yes, we need ab muscles, but we also want them,
Right?
you know?
We don't want to be in stress.
Yeah.
But we need to, no, I don't know. I was going to make some clever quip, but I don't have it. Yeah, so it's really changed everything for me. In 2012, when I was introduced, I was like, oh, this is something. And it was kind of a hobby at that time.
Yeah.
We would go monthly. It was a monthly thing. It was, not really taken serious. And then I started, when you get trained as a laughter leader, there's kind of an unwritten principle that you'll have a free laughter club, which is fine in India. You could go to a park year round. In North America or in places where you have winter or even where it's extreme heat, guess it's hot in India too, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's you have to rent space. So the idea that someone's going to lose money, that's not practical.
Hmm.
And I said, I do enough for Free Universe. I don't want to have a free club. And I didn't. And I kept getting paid gigs. I was going into long-term care, working with special needs, laughing with school kids,
Yeah.
in corporation. It was so fun. And people are like, I want to come to your laughter club. I'm like, I don't have one. I keep getting paid gigs.
Huh?
And then 2020.
Mm.
And then we shut down.
Hmm.
And in Canada, we were shut down for about 2 years. We were
Yeah.
locked down. I mean, it's so hard to imagine. It's like, no way. If it was written in a book, it would be like, no, that would never happen. Like,
I
where the
know.
world shut down. Are you kidding?
Yeah. But it
Wow.
did.
It happened.
Yeah.
We lived it. We survived it, Andrea. Yoop. But I
Ah,
started my laughter club in June of 2020. 5 years. We just celebrated 5 years. Can you
isn't that
imagine?
wild how much time has gone by since then?
And people are still struggling. I'm so happy that we're talking about this because I really want people to care about the planet. Capitalism for good. I really do. But when you're in a mental crisis, it's really not even possible to care about your neighbor. So the laughter, so now it's like, okay, let me help people get out of the stress so then they can care about their neighbor or care about, what they're doing with their garb or whatever. Just because when we feel good, we do good. When we hurt, we're hurting and we can't see the light. We're in darkness until there's a little crack. And then somebody opens up that crack. And when you get cracked open, then you can stand straighter. You can look up. You can see the possibilities. But when you're feeling down and it's not that I've never been there. I totally have. I was a secretary for 20 years and I was meant to be an entrepreneur. I didn't know.
Can you talk a little bit about going back to the marketing? Actually, before we get there, I want to talk about I want to go deeper on what you just said. You were a secretary for 20 years and you you were meant to be an entrepreneur. And it this is me as a human asking this, but I think other people will relate to it. There is something that I have experienced in the past couple years with being in other jobs, following different pathways, very thankful, learned a lot, have gotten me to where I am. But there's a feeling, there's a lifestyle, there's a satisfaction. There are physical things that I notice, physical changes in my body, differences in the way that I experience stress and anxiety and all. It's like a comprehensive change between what I had experienced before and what I've done after making some decisions to, in the cheesiest way, like chase and build the things that I felt like I was drawn to do. And like
Hmm.
that has been such a profound change and noticeable difference. And I don't think that I truly noticed it until probably the past few months where I was like, oh, high level baseline of anxiety that I lived with for what I felt like my whole life is
Hmm.
gone to the point where like I don't remember what that feels like. And I have some
Hmm.
moments where I'm like, oh, I should be nervous, I should be anxious, I should be scared in this moment, and for some reason I'm not. And I wonder how that relates to you at all, and if you can kind of talk about that piece there in the switch
Yes.
between secretary to what you're doing now.
Yeah, so I would Oh, I had really awful stomach issues, gas and bloating in my belly. And I didn't know. I just thought, oh, it was my lunch or something. But it said I wasn't digesting because when you're in stress, you're not although you're eating, you're not, it's going in and out and your body's not absorbing the nutrients. I changed jobs just about annually because I was that good. I was that confident that I knew I'm a great secretary.
Huh?
So I'll just quit my job because I can't lie either. So I wasn't able to say, oh, I have a doctor's appointment. Oh, I have another doctor's appointment for interviews. So I would just quit. And, all those expressions, you need to have a job to get a job. You got to have experience. Like, how do you get experience if you've never had experience?
Right.
If nobody gives you a chance?
Hmm.
Yeah, so all those expressions I didn't understand. Like work hard and then you get a gold watch in 30 years. Like who
Right.
needs a watch when you retire? What?
Uh, yeah. I
And
don't
so I
know
would
that.
change, yeah, so I would change jobs and get the same job, right? Like
Hmm.
secretary is you're the gatekeeper, you're running the company,
Hmm.
depending, I was a high level secretary in some of the jobs I had in the near the end.
Yeah.
And same job. And then I just get bored, like, different company, different product or service, same day.
Yeah.
It's Groundhog Day all over again, like 9 to 5, okay. And so there are definitely beautiful things for working 9 to 5. You get
Hmm.
weekends off, you have your holiday, you're an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Hopefully you love what you do because it's really different. That's maybe you're working weekends or working into the night or like it's just different. And
Yeah.
for me there is no separation. There's no work-life balance. It's life and I love it because I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm really enjoying. So my stomach issues are gone. When I started, yes, of course it has its own stress because now where does the money come from?
Right.
Now you're in charge, you're the boss, but you're also in charge of you're the the janitor,
Right.
you're the salesperson, you're the customer service,
Uh-huh.
right? You're the repair person.
Yeah. Yep.
You're putting out all the fires and you're starting them too, probably.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes.
It's a whole different feeling, when you're working for somebody else and it's fine. There's because we definitely need employees and being an entrepreneur is not for everybody
Right.
because you need to have a certain mindset. You got to be motivated. You're working from home, so there's nobody pushing you. There's nobody saying, "Hey, where's that report or where's that
Yeah.
widget that you were going to make?" There's no one doing that. It's you.
Yeah.
Um, but it's a different stress. I
Mhm.
feel like, I've had a really cool life, even working as a secretary, because I traveled a lot, 13 months in Africa and Asia, 3 months in Europe. Like I traveled a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like since in the 23 years I've had my business, this is when my life really began.
Mm. Yeah.
Not that I'm just in charge, but I just get these opportunities because I'm open and
Yeah.
because I know we're going to talk about marketing. I chose media as my marketing strategy.
Yeah.
So getting media begets more media, and then other media sees that and they're like, "Oh, I saw that article in the little paper. Can
Yeah.
you come on my radio show
Yeah.
and or on my podcast?" Like it kind of one thing leads to another, and then you don't know who's watching, you don't know who's reading that.
Hmm.
Same with social media. I mean, we post things and like I post all the time, but
Yeah.
one or two people will like it, and I'm like, is anyone seeing it? And
Right.
then you see someone on the street and they're like, "What's new?" And you go, "Oh," we tell them what's new. And they're like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, I saw all that on Facebook." It's like, but you didn't, how do I know that you saw it? I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't like everything and I don't comment because I don't want to be tracked by Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So I get why people don't do all the things.
Yeah. But sometimes is you being the one putting it out there, you're like, does any of this matter? Is anyone seeing this? Should I keep doing this? And like maybe this is like a natural lead into marketing here of like you, but it is important, like just putting the word out there and just like having it available for people to see and absorb there.
And it might be just the thing that somebody needs that day.
Yeah.
The exact thing that you are
Yeah.
selling your product or service is the exact thing that, oh my gosh, I've been looking for that. And there it is right there in my feed. We don't know.
hmm I think that's a good reminder for anyone who hits that moment. Like, again, going back to me personally as a human, like I hit those moments sometimes where like, does anything matter? Why am I doing this? The struggle is real sometimes. What's happening? And I can kind of spiral myself into like the world's problems are too big. Am I making a dent? Am I having any kind of impact? And it's like, it is, whether or not you see it, if you're putting it out there, you never know when it connects when someone else needs to see it or needs to hear it and it becomes like a tool for them. I just I'm reminded right now that I called someone yesterday because I am also very not tech savvy. It's like I know just enough to
Mm,
be a little dangerous, but it's a kind of a blank spot, and I had this opportunity to potentially shine a spotlight on someone using AI for a sustainability purpose, and I was like, I don't really know. I feel a little iffy about that. So then I just called someone to be like that I knew was a subject matter expert on tech and computers and AI, and I just said, "Can you walk me through energy consumption with this?" And he was very nice and very
mm,
gracious and very did that. But also, while I'm kind of spiraling about the world's problems in my brain, kept taking me back to saying he kept like naturally using the phrase, nothing is as bad as it seems, and it's not going to be as good as it seems. And like, I don't think that he meant that phrase in any kind of way, but it has stuck with me. I was journaling about it last night and again today.
mm.
That's not at all what he was intending to talk about, but it stuck in a way that is really impactful, and we don't always know when we put those things out there how it's gonna touch someone else there.
We totally don't. Oh my gosh, Andrea, we're making an impact
Yeah.
every day, every time we go out. If we smile at someone or we don't, we hold the door or we don't, we
Yeah.
say thank you or we don't. We're making that impact.
hmm
And all these little impacts, they
hmm
make a bigger impact. And even if it's like even a little tiny pebble in the lake is
hmm
making a ripple, like a big rock, a bigger ripple, but we're making a ripple whatever we do. And so why not make a good ripple? Like
Yeah.
why not be nice? Why not say hello to the homeless person?
hmm
Like you don't have to give money, but at least say hi. Hey, I see you there,
Yeah.
because we all want to be seen. I really believe that we all want to be seen. We
Yeah.
all want to be acknowledged, and we all want to have connection, real life connection. And it's not possible. We're all in different situations.
Yeah.
And I can say for me in my business, because I've been doing school workshops I do school workshops,
I was hoping
20,
that's where you were going next. Yeah.
yeah, 23 years I've been, because when I started in '02, I'd have my booth and then people are saying, ooh, and I'm like, oh, gosh, how am I going to, like, because my goal was in 2002, it's changed now because now I'm moved in onto laughter, but it was to put worms in every living space, every home, every classroom, not just one in a school as a project, everywhere. Worms in every business, every community, worms everywhere, like the blue bin, like the
Yeah.
recycling bin.
Uh-huh.
Right? So wherever there's a recycling bin, there's the worm bin right beside. So you're having your apple. Oh, the apple core goes, oh, like where's the worm bin? Boom. I really thought, because you don't know, you only know what you know. And
Yeah.
I thought, this is so great. Everyone needs this. They don't want to buy what they need, they buy what they want.
Yeah.
And so when people were saying, ew, it's like, oh, how am I gonna do this? And that's what I started to take on school workshops. Over 100,000 students have seen my presentation to date
That
so
is a
far.
huge account. Like, that's truly something to celebrate.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. It's so beautiful. And because it's been 23 years, and I was doing a lot of exhibiting before 2020. I was everywhere doing like maybe between 100 and 200 events a year. I was
Yeah.
a hamster or a gerbil or whatever in the wheel. And I had tons of energy. It was fine. I thought that's what I needed to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then COVID, and I was like, oh, all this thinking time. Oh, maybe I don't have to do all that.
Mhm.
And I don't even want to do all that again. But okay,
Yeah.
that's a different topic. But I've had the privilege. So I'd be exhibiting, and then someone would come up, and more than once this happened. And they would go, oh, Cathy, wow, you came into my grade 3 class. And either because we had worms or because of you, I don't know. Maybe because of me, probably. I don't know. Because we had worms in the class, I
Uh-huh.
went to college and now I'm a for environmental studies and now I'm an environmental lawyer or I'm working for environmental defense or something. It's like, wow, wow. Like my heart just like got bigger. Like I was like, oh my gosh, that's really goosebumps when I met those people. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank God I'm doing what I'm doing because and so that's why I say you don't know.
Yeah. And would you have ever imagined, I mean, I imagine that's what, 10, 15 years in between when you first had that impact on the kid and then when you went to college, when you started actually use not actually started actually, because I'm sure he was probably using those things along, but like that's that's a big time difference between when you do the work and when you see the result, or when the result makes its way back
Hmm.
to you, is maybe a better way to say that.
Right? Yes. Well, you think about teachers. Like teachers are impacting kids every day and they don't know. Like, I
Mhm.
mean, the kids graduate, they go to the next grade, whatever, and some are really great teachers and have an im amazing impact. They make you love school.
Yeah.
Or like I think the kindergarten teachers are the most important teachers in the school
Mhm.
because of them, either you love school or you hate it.
Yeah.
Right? They set you up to either like, okay, oh, I can't wait to go back to school because everyone's so nice and the teacher's good and I love learning. Or the teacher's yelling at you because you're always
Right.
talking or something.
That was
Chatty
definitely
Cathy.
me. But then I found a way to make a career out of it. So,
Right?
yeah. So when you started doing I want to go to the logistics of when you started doing those school presentations and those educational pieces. Was that also something that just kind of serendipitously happened, or were you seeking it out because you knew that that is an important piece of spreading the word in kind of a marketing kind of way? Or how did that start becoming a piece of what you do?
Yeah, so I was in that business course and wrote the business plan and
Yeah.
I think when people were saying ooh, I was also doing a ton of networking. So through networking, so with mentors and stuff, which I think is really important, I
Yeah.
might have said, wow, people are, I don't know how to do this, right? Like it's hard to get to the adults if they have a belief and something happened. I realized if people were traumatized as children by worms on a rainy day or a fishing incident or a sibling chasing them with a worm or anything like that, they're not looking to that as a solution as an adult. So
Yeah.
I had that barrier of the worms. Like the concept is great. People say, wow, this is so great. What a great concept. Oh, good for you. Rah, rah, rah. They're cheerleaders on the side. And then I'd be like, would you have worms? No. Okay, well, move along then because you're not really supporting me if you're just like, you're
Yeah.
just talking.
Yeah.
Like you're not doing action. You need to do action too.
Yeah.
And I think somebody said, you need to get to the kids. And then I asked, how do I get into the schools? How do I get into the schools? And then I was introduced to a teacher. The teacher brought me in. And from there, teachers talk everybody. If they have a good presenter come in, they're going to tell everybody. And then that's really how my business grew. I spent, not that I didn't spend any on marketing, but very little money on advertising and actual marketing to get the message out. It was more through media talking about me. So that's always great. It gives you
Yeah.
more street cred, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then teachers would have me back year after year, which,
Mhm.
then you've got that revenue like the
Yeah.
stream coming
It builds
in.
that stability in the business piece that you need there. Yeah. Yeah.
And I love talking, and I know people have a fear of public speaking.
Yeah. Mm.
If you're going to be an entrepreneur, you really need to do whatever Toastmasters or some kind of public speaking course
Yeah.
because you're always selling. Even
Mhm.
people are like, "Oh, I don't like selling." It's like you're always selling. Even
Yeah.
you're selling to your parents,
Uh-huh.
kids, right? You're like, "Oh, can I do this?" You're always like pleading your case. So that's
Mhm.
selling.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we just it selling kind of has an icky term like a feeling to it. But if we embrace that and think of sales as service,
Yeah.
that we're doing a service, that without this, the world would be a worse off place, then we can go, oh, okay, then I need to sell, and selling is good.
Yeah. Yeah. And then to try to take us to today in implementation, if anything you're talking about here, because you've got such a like wide range of services and things that you're offering, like you've got the tangible worms, you've got education, you've got the wellness piece, you've got all these things, and they're definitely connecting. If any of this is resonating with people, it's kind of a softball question, maybe, but maybe it's a loaded question too. Like, where do people go if they want to join your laughter club, if they want to find some worms, if they want to invite you to speak at their classroom or whatever that is? Where are the best ways for people to find that and interact with you?
I'm going to send people to my laughter page. It's cathysclub.com, Cathy with a C. And everything's there. All my websites are all connected. My worm one is cathyscomposters.com. I don't ship worms out of the country, and I'm actually not really doing worms anymore. I'm still talking about it.
Right.
I'm still
Yeah.
doing the talking piece and the education.
Yeah.
But since 2020, I've really moved into laughter wellness. I
Yeah.
really just want to help people feel good,
Yeah.
to so they can have a wonderful life because it's here for us. Joy is our birthright. And we're living in this perpetual state of stress.
Yeah.
And we dip into joy every now and then. And we're like, oh, what was that? That was nice. I
Yeah.
want people to live in joy and just dip into stress every now and then if they need to get going or do something.
Yeah.
Because it's really detrimental to our health to be always like really stop watching the news or watch it very little because we have this channel in Canada. It's called CP24, and it every 10 minutes they do the highlights again, and it's that channel drives me bonkers. You go to a walk-in medical clinic or something, all the medical establishments have this station blaring. So they've got the traffic report, so that's always stressful. They've got the weather, which is always stressful now because it's always got the red banner warning weather statement. It's like, oh my gosh, isn't it going to just be sunny? And then they talk about the headlines. And the headlines are never, oh, an old lady was helped across the street today by a Boy
Right.
Scout.
Yes.
Right? It's, what do they say? If it bleeds, it leads. And so
Yeah.
we can't unsee those. We might be like, oh, I'm not affected by the news.
Mm.
You are.
It's
You
there.
are. It gets in you, and then what we're looking at, what we're consuming, not just food, what we're consuming with our eyes. So social media, all these things get in
Mhm.
us. They get in our body. So if we can fill our time with positive things, coming to a laughter club, spending time socializing rather than always online, but stay tuned, keep watching the podcast.
You
um,
guys
you
are good.
know,
It's like I kind of think about things like it's important to be informed. It's important to understand what's going on in the world, good, bad, and otherwise, but like don't let it control you. Like you can kind of control the pieces of the way that you're informed without letting it rule everything, which is part of why I want to do capitalism for good of like, okay, you're gonna be here. There are things going on, there are problems in the world, but like let's find a way to utilize it and leverage it in a way that works for us.
yes, don't be an ostrich. I mean, we need to know what's going on. People are going to tell you. Oh my gosh, my mom tells me all the time because she watches that station. It's blaring in her apartment. And so she's like, "Oh, did you hear this?" And it's like, "No." And okay, la 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 la. Right? So people are going to tell you even if you don't want to hear.
Yeah.
I don't know why, because we're designed, I think we're geared for the negative. And I think that there's a biological piece in there that kept us alive. The
Yeah.
negative, right? The negative piece kept us alive. We don't need it now.
Okay.
We need our intuition, but we don't need that piece the stress piece of fight, flight, or freeze. We really don't need that,
Yeah.
but we live in that now. We live in that. And people will say to me, Andrea, they'll be like, oh, Cathy, how can I laugh? Like, There's wars and there's famine and there's, well, when there was pandemic, there's all these things. I mean, like, yes, those things are still here. They're always going to be here and there will be more things heaped on.
Yeah.
And we're laughing because of all those things. We're not laughing at them, we're laughing because of them.
Right. Yeah.
Otherwise, we're bawling in the corner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, so if I'm going to take us kind of further down the road here, if we're looking at the future, where where are you going next? Like where are you headed? What do you want to see in the future with the things that you're doing?
I see myself as the intermission speaker at large conferences.
Mm,
They're in their head, they're learning all the stuff, whatever the topic, it doesn't even matter. And
yeah.
then they have a break, a lunch break or whatever, and people go and so I want to be the fun bringer where I shake up their whole body. They get rid of not get rid of what they learned that just gets stored in, but then it frees up the space in their mind so then they're fresh for the afternoon. That's really what I see because again, people are really struggling and I just want to help people. And like the worms, people don't know about laughter yoga.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's 30 years, but it's still a baby in the yoga is like 5,000 years old or whatever. So laughter yoga is very new.
Yeah, I love that so much. All right, this is my last question that I have for absolutely everyone that I speak with, and it is, who is another business or leader that you see out there in the world that is doing things the right way? And it could be anyone from an old boss, a client of yours, someone that you're a customer of, absolutely anyone that you think deserves a shout out for what they're doing.
Mm. Oh, Andrea, I know so many because of the world that I'm in.
Yeah.
Today, I would like to give a shout out to Rachel Perron. She
Mhm.
has an organization called Kids Right to Know. And this came about from, I don't know, she's very young still. She's under, I don't know, she's under 40,
Yeah.
but she's probably maybe even under 30 still, I'm not sure. And she, at 9 years old, did a project on food and GMOs. And because of that, she started Kids Right to Know, and it's Kids Right to Know what's in their food. And she actually went on national TV. She's in Canada as well. She went on national TV and battled Kevin O'Leary. Do you know Kevin O'Leary from Shark
Oh,
Tank?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Uh-huh, uh-huh.
she battled Kevin O'Leary in 2013. Was it 2013? I think it was 2013 about GMOs. Like, and she was, I don't know, maybe 18 or 19 at that time.
Nice.
Right? Like head on, like, because he was like, oh, the science is there. GMOs are going to solve world hunger and da da da, all the things, right? He's saying all these things. And she's like, no, no, actually, here are the facts.
Yeah.
And she didn't, but I was like, wow, oh my gosh, I'm in awe. So she's met like so many world, Jane Goodall, she's met all these wonderful people. She's traveled around learning about regenerative agriculture and just she's got a whole movement. So Rachel, thank you for helping people understand at a young age, right? If we can understand at a young age that food is our fuel, and by eating good food, it fuels our beautiful body, we can feel good. This is a machine. Our body is so resilient that for decades we can eat junk food, we can have bad thoughts, we cannot exercise, and then all of a sudden, boom, the system breaks
Yeah. Yeah.
and we start getting stuff, right? But our body is so resilient, our trillions of cells. So if we think about each little cell and fixing one cell and then we fix the body,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, wow. Yeah.
Shout out Rachel.
Yay.
And shout out Cathy. I cannot thank you enough for everything that you've done. If we talk about serendipity, like again, I need you to hear the impact that you have had already in just like two interactions with me
Hmm.
is huge. And I just want you to hear it. And I'm such a transparent open book these days, but like it is so meaningful and so impactful. And I just can't thank you enough. Please keep up the good work. And I wish you all the best. And thank you so much for doing this with me and for sharing everything that you do and that you embody with with anyone who might see or read or hear about this at any point in the future.
Oh, Andrea, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank
Oh, and
you.
come to my laughter club on Tuesday. I don't think I talked about that.
Oh, yes. And what Laughter Club, Cathy'sClub.com, what time do you do it?
It's 9:30 a.m. Eastern on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, 30 minutes of super fun self-care. All are welcome. We just celebrated 5 years. I incorporate Qigong, tapping, brain gym. Laughter goes with everything. It's complementary medicine. No side effects. And yeah, it just feel good. That's it. It's all
Yeah.
about joy.
And I'll put links to all of that in the show notes, in the blog, and all of the things so that people have a quick and easy way to access it. And you better believe that I'll be there next Tuesday.
Yay. I look forward to giggling with you.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much to every single person that's listened, every single person that has told someone else about it, that has shared an episode, that has sent a blog post to someone else to read, that shares on social media, that responds back to me, that engages and lets me know what they think and what they're hearing. Thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed through the Patreon. These subscriptions are what fund the project and keep it going. There's so many different tiers available starting at $1 and $2 a month, and each tier gets you access to different kinds of things. So, for example, the $2 a month listener tier gets you access to interviews on Thursdays, so early access to the audio and video versions of interviews that are out every Thursday, typically in the evening time. Your $3 a month member tier adds on these weekly between the interview series on Mondays. That's what I gave a little sneak peek. There are some early examples of those between the interviews that were posted on the main feed so that folks could kind of get a lay of the land and what's behind the motivation for this project. Those reflection episodes are still going every Monday, and the folks in that member tier are still have access to those things. The VIP tier has access to merch. I really do my best to give back to those that are joining. So check the show notes for the link to the Patreon. There's a lot there. If you're interested in any of the behind the scenes of like how this project gets made from the back end, like if you are someone who is interested in starting anything that looks similar to this, whatever your topic is, like I am really open, just like I'm asking these folks that I'm interviewing about like the mistakes that they made. I do my best to be very open about the mistakes and the lessons learned that I made, plus the resources that really helped me, the people that I'm looking up to. Like I yeah, why not share my experience there? So that's all available there. And just in general, I truly want to hear from you. So please message me on Instagram, message me on the Patreon, leave me a review that tells me what you think of it. Email me your thoughts and your suggestions, including the things that you don't like. I got tough skin, people. You can tell me the things that I need to improve upon. I am very open about early days, early stage, that I this entire project and almost everything that goes into it is brand spanking new to me. And I am learning, not just from these leaders that I'm interviewing, but I'm learning about the technical side of things. I'm learning about social media. I'm learning about advertising. Like, I'm learning about all of these types of things, and I am happy to share what I have learned as well. And so I want your feedback. I want the things that I'm not talking about that you want to hear about that is within this Capitalism for Good space. So reach out to me. I want to hear from you. I truly do. Send me your thoughts and I'll do your research. Like I said, I really am listening and kind of creeping to see where people are coming from, where you're located, what your interests are. And so if there's an industry or an interest of yours that I haven't hit on that you are really interested, like, send me your thoughts. If you have a question that is related to this Capitalism for Good project, I'll do the research here. So send them on over. I'm already doing it. I might as well do something that fits what you're asking for and what you're looking for. Finally, my last little plug and shout out here is if you are interested in working together to build better community, check out the business website for CFG. It's at capitalism-for-good.com. There's also a link down in the show notes. And whether you are interested in starting or expanding a community give back initiative with your company, if you want to plan a volunteer day and you don't want someone that's already your full-time employee taking away from their normal job to do it, if you're looking for a charity partner within a specific space or that aligns cleanly with your company values and your philosophy, or if you want to perhaps talk about some education around the value of community partnerships and what that can add to your business if done well and done efficiently and effectively, I would love to help. So I'd be happy to get on a phone call, see how CFG can help you with your community goals. Once again, would love to hear from you if you've got thoughts, needs, questions, interest anywhere within that space. I truly believe that we are stronger when we work together and that we can truly make a really impactful, positive future if we just put all our brains and our skills together and leverage those things to build better community. So, all right. That's enough. Let's go leave this place better than we found it.